This is day 1482 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. They're doing your day, Simon Reish Pei. See, pay to your dollar. Hey, Vidash Rabbeinu Rama, because I feel like Putzim Loitir Lidvo Rak Bekaraba, Betok Shol Shitim Leoser. The Rama said also by these these walnut worked parchments that they only matir a rip which extends into 3 lines, but not more. And Shom Bemis Can't Kosav Rivosh. Vosh writes this. That Moshe Avo Bechad the Lace Lamba. If it's a new one with no problem, the mashma feel biyoser says that even more is not a problem. Kongo Nevis came at that time Mishum Megune, since the issue is that it is repulsive. 5 years Mishlosh Gam Chadash Megune, if it's more than 3, in a new one it's repulsive. Chemash Rambam. Since the language of Rambam, because I feel Tov Shlosha, if it's in 3 you pour, you have to sow umashma avloyosef, but not more than 3. That's the entity of cloud, but that's really not an inference. The king of Derech HaLashon. That's how people speak. Shomer de biyoshin also b'shlosha. When you say that old one, it's also in 3. Omer chadash afi b'shlosha mutter. You mean in saying the new one, even in 3, it's mutter. But in biyoshin, even more as well. But Rivash, that's more chazab about Rivash himself. Should reneged on this. Wash kasa tashbeitz, like tashbeitz quotes him, Bezel Shainai. V'dai shon ki rabba kam ma'is sevator erot shenikar yesem meshal shitim. There's a sevator here which was written more than 3 lines. The Rivash Psal and the Rivash positive. And Isim Lakshiro, I was Makshir, V'shachli V'chulei. Rav Davka Shleisha. It's not specific 3. Shein Derech Talmud. 3 means 3 or more. Viskimi Bershero and the Rivash evidently then conceded Tashbates on this issue. Well, we use it. I got to show them because they couldn't fix it for some reason. Maisa Rav. It's a Maisa Rav. Rabbeinu Rama Loraza, and then the Rama says Arukh HaShulchan did not see this, and I guess the Kudas Lakesa he quotes says that the Rama did not see this. Chenu Agos Mordechai. There's also Agos Mordechai Gittin Shema Rashmi Shantz. This is what we believe to be the case. The Chain Haminak Bashan. This is the widespread custom. Ashkadash Beit Chei Beisim and Rasad Zildash Yivosh. This is in brackets, whatever. Okay, that's not. It's the Maramaka basically. Vav. Beam Kiyesh Magdash Shechmizayim, the song Gdalim more Machar in this. Achrei Shem Kodim Rivash, since the source is from Rivash, who Atzor Chazabo, and he himself changed his mind, not some and an episode happened in front of him. But Tashbates Matir preaches, and Tashbates very simply permits it. Rabbeinu Shimshon about taste and the Rash to Sevagankin. Gamkin Kane also is that way. So that's why Mordechai, this Mordechai says that Shira Rash Hasar Mishantz. It should be the Rash Mishantz. Marcus Lehman wrote a whole book, The Count of Kusi, based on a typo in the places where it says the Sar Mikutsi instead of the Rash Mikutsi. Did you know that? Anyway, Yeshiva Sar Mishantz, Shadim al Sefer Torah Shnikar B'chulei. He asked about Sefer Torah Shizrub Tzera. He came Hani Safed Didon. Aris one and feel B'sholosh Yidbor even in 3. You should so v'ken Shem B'shlosha who adim Barabah Chamisha. But since we matir in 3, we also matir in 4 and 5. Feel Tuva even more. Chulei Akal Shara. Yezim Zehora Chamik Gdolei Asfardim. Vashkas Sefer Bircha Yosef. That's where they quote the Chidah. One of the Chidah quotes is Eloshano. Sefer Torah Shenikra Mirosha Yiriyah. Sefer Torah got ripped from the top of the parchment page. The Nichnas Sakir Ad Arba Shitos, and the rip went in 4 or 5 lines. Kufosios, into the actual substance of letters. B'chlal Hashem Hamiyuchad, and even to Shem Hashem. And Yud was split with that rip to one side, Hashem Mitzad Echad, the rest of Shem Baya on the other side. Based on this, it's Tzibur Ani, there's a poor shul. They can't switch the parchment page. Can also they could fix it with sewing. Many people allow sewing 4 or 5 lines. And the letters which are written completely by the tear. And letters which come precede them. Yigarim, we should scrape Achul Chtabakov al Grar, so you can write everything where you scrape. Yishar Mokum Mokakera, and the place where the rip should remain blank. Yad Basham, and the hand should not touch there. Bashem, sorry. Yad Bashem, nobody should touch the Shem Hashem. Hoil, the low of our Kerab Gufos. Since the rip did not go through one of the letters, just between letters, so just leave it as is. Brackets, he says, Rambam, Sisa and Rambam called him, Elu, all these halachs are they are preferable but not impediment. Shadin the Koso Rambam so practice, this halach was in Badam practice. Hakarish Perkut, and then begin Perkut, Chashav, as strange vine on puts the door, and sway things as possible. Table save it up, but low Chashav, so say, doesn't mention this invalidation. Hakos is El Shono, and afterwards he writes as follows. The Shard for him, any other issue is the mitzvah, it's preferable if it's not an impediment. Hakos the head is saying especially that the tear is not an impediment. Zayin, when you sew only with sinew. With sinews ava begradin, but with threads low. Rashbesh belaz findis. Lodana mahu. I don't know what findis are. With sukkah perish rashi arigo shebasov talis, the woven parts at the end of a talis, like those knots on the hem. Chaim Pasko Rambam Batur Shanach Shizbrak Begidim should only use sinews. Yesh Dmar Ben Mamash Chasab Yesh, and some say Shanogin Tovim Mameshi. Some say can silk. Chaim Nogin Aidna. That's custom day. But the primary minhag is to use sinews. If Shas Pascal Shanach Echav Shatim Mameshi. Also, is astounding. How can you say silk is okay? Okay, the Maramum of force, getting the applicants and ones that explicit sinews. For I told my material, people been astonished at those who are lenient. Okay. Roshan says the Ramah is correct. These are that of the Zay Shitzu Gdim who go between us to say Victor Haruz Zul Zu. Aha. So that which he said that you need to use specifically Gidim sinews is when you sew the parchment pages to each other. But here's talking about fixing a tear. By the way, if silk thread is okay to fix the tear, Scotch tape should also be okay, no? Same stands to reason. I think I've seen tape or like glued parchment pieces. Maybe we'll get that. Yeah, I think we'll get that shortly. Because I'm talking about. These are the decisions who come over to us because they require sinews. Like when you sew the parchment pages to each other, so have a grudding low. So why do they say not grudding, which are those hems at the end of the talis? Maya grudding, why specifically those hems? I think there were anything. Ain't of him. Shasha just said you can't use any except sinews. About the lava zen emerald can't be the law was stated this way. In other words, the halacha which you see now used gina was not stated on fixing, mending, only on sewing the parchment pages. This is the logic. The halacha nemadvorim hachrechin. This halacha was stated on things which are necessary, integral to the Sefer Torah. The law siba can find out when there is some other extrinsic reason for it. So that which the Shas does say, and you should use sinews and something else. The hems at the end of Talis, Rashi describes them as left over from the weaving. Which chalush mode is very weak. It's pragmatic. Use that, it's going to rip very quickly. When you truly before, but double chazak and require you to use something tough like sinews. So Zelma has this low. Not to use weak thread. From this we can infer that strong thread is okay, as long as it's not glutted. There's nothing stronger than silk, as is known. For as in the rush, but Chuvas evidence because the rush explicitly says you can mend the rip without sinews. Shu tikun aklaf, which is fixing the parchment below whose krugin abrios. And the need for sinews is only by the parchment pages. I can't show it. It means like we said. Also, it's not relevant to require that is permissible for you to eat. It's only to fix the rip and connect them. Therefore, even glue, like I said a few minutes ago, is permissible as we shall see. Test. Because what Rabbi Ramah also read the issue and mutar the dabek olav This is the Scotch tape scenario. You're allowed to glue on a piece of parchment on the outside. Cause my shemuta from anytime you're allowed to sew. And that way to mend the rip. If something's missing, we can write on that adhering parchment. That's the Kasakal Ramah was short, as this is wont. But in fact, there's a large machlekes here. Yesterday, the Gamma Niach Matlis is Sefer Torah. It was forbidden to make put a matlis, which many money ago I made a mistake. I thought it was a rag. It's not a rag. It's a piece of parchment. Sefer Torah matlis, and right on this what's the word? Come on. When you get flat tire, you put a not a plug, a patch. Matlis, you can't write a patch. Those are allow you to write patch. Even those who ask, because some of the parchment page is missing, and the patch completes it. Okay, so then you're writing on the patch. But Karabaum is just a tear. Just like the soul came with the Liach Matlis, you can put a patch on the outside. Because those had to glue one to the other. Is explicit in Sefer Allah Sinai. Sefer Shenikra, which got rid. Matlei Allah Matlis, you put on a patch on the outside. The Chol Matlis Yesh Shomi Koidim Zeh Pluta. But the writing the patch is a machlekes. There's the language on machlekes. Ain't dovkin bedebek. You can't glue. Glue ain't kois guy matlis can't write the patch. Clear. Amar Shimon Elazar Shimon Meir. Dovkin bedebek you can't fix the glue. The kois guy matlis you can write on the patch. Kan l'shono. Achar kosem hach the nikra hach the nikra shetole. That's it that you put on you put something on. Clear. Nearly die brusher. What it means to say? So say Shulchan. Ain't dovkin bedevik as a car. You can't use glue to close up the patch. Bedevik yovad, meaning glue by itself. Below matlis without a patch. Also, that's forbidden. Shema v'tola tashmish, because maybe out of use, it's just calculate devik, the glue is going to get ruined, it's going to rip. And you know if matlis hamakam kare, rather, you put a patch on the place, so it's mibachutz on the outside. You'd bekeno and glue it bedevik, k'demasakam, as we are going to see. But the kamar v'en kois matlis, then it's, you don't write on the patch. Kamar bakara itarnu matlis. If you have a rip, we can bond together the two parts with a patch. However, if there's a hole, the chasson and stuff is missing. At least they have to write on the patch, also that's no good. Then Mati name Rameir permits it. For also those who fit it, see like Tanakama, like Tanakam. From a term, those minutes, like Rameir, like Rameir. I normally don't pass Rameir, Rameir is Sofer. Perhaps because Rameir was a Sofer. And Shemesh B'zei Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Kiva, and he was a sofer who learned this crap by Shmuel Rabbi Kiva, the Gedolei Ador. He's a Perikam the Emer, Hashem. Von the friend of Yushan Perikam the Gilo Emer, V'toy Matlis and Tolim B'devikim B'devik. Says you can use a patch and connect it with glue. Not sure. It's going to the first part, not this part. Achish B'Shua HaTfilim, but those who say that's about Tfilim. Kon Yonash the Sham who Tfilim there say about Indian is about film. Perushi zeh bizbalan is daiti miloshan rosh b'chol sefer Torah. My pshat about the matlis is from indicated by Lashon the Rosh, which he's about to bring in Sif Yud. V'nei Rosham kosa the Rosh the Rosh. Yisham Rabbi Maram really, but he asks his Rebbe Maram really, but mutar lidvo kakera. And Marcus Lehman. I believe, this is from youth, that Marcus Lehman wrote one of his books that Rush is Maram Rutenberg's son-in-law. I hadn't thought that for many years. He was not, he was just a Talmud. Yosham Kosa Shishomi Rabbi Maram Rutenberg, he asked his Rebbe Maram Rutenberg, Imutali Boka Kera, if you're allowed to glue the rip, the tear, bedevek with glue, vasalo, and he forbade him. He timed it in the zeh. And this is a combination of Sefer Torah, Zem, Moshe, Elkan, and Sefer Torah. This one pulls this way, Zakan, that one pulls that way. And you tighten where you do Glila. And Yesh L'Chushis Parade. That's why the Glila you pull each way, and then it gets tight, and it's going to split. For Rosh Matzah, Rosh Mitzvah. For Torah, Vim, Machlokas, Zed, Torah brings the Machlokas. My name is Palei. I'll Ben Ramah, Stanish, Ramosh, because of Yeshim, Shemuta, Dabik, Love, Klav. It says some people say you can put glue on a piece of parchment. It's not in Malisa, so what do you mean? Machlekes. It's like at least a caracom when so if it's when everybody agrees, a patch on the rip is mutter. Machlokas Rak with devik below at least. So machlokas is where it's just glue without the patch. We see at least and writing on the patch. We like the Vaslashon that call echo. Perhaps in language of Roshi, assuming it's all the same. Mashachar made Vaslashon as it seems to indicate from the flow of his language. I'm going to use that the end okay, but I don't think it's the case. I ain't sure. Choose Marik, Rick possession, Maril Asar. Marik says Maril Asar. Vuhi Tir and Marik was Matir. I ain't sure. Kesh Od Osimatim, and there are people on both sides of this machlokas. Yurav. Ladino Koso Agdal Achroim Meloshin. The Locha, the great Achroim, evidently is the Bach and Shach. Right as follows. Shnir Ikar Kosim, prime melachas like those are forbidden. El Me'ach Shnoga Koim Kaimoni. This way from ancient times is a custom. Likos to save Torah Kazu. 3 for 7 such a save Torah. Lifnei Gdolei Olam before great people. Lo Michol Yandin in protest. Al Kain Ein Lo Shum Gadol Imchos. Never nobody should protest. L'ros Horol Israel Chaim and for a rule to forbid others. Aval Machmer Lasom somebody is machmer himself. But save Torah Shlo. Don't save Torah. Raise him Mushabach. It's praiseworthy. Tavla Brach and blessing should be bestowed upon him. Miukas Mixas Os Al Riyah Mixas Al Fly by the Apostle. Part of a letter on the original parchment page and part of it on the patch, that's definitely possible. Because if you separate, the patch gets split off, you're going to have 2 half letters. The Taz is matir, if any book it's not compelling. You should pass on those who ask that the letter itself written on the parchment page should have an empty border of the parchment itself, not including the patch. The Mashkino goes over him, he thinks the Sovereign have that custom. So obviously said the writing on the patch is should be after Kagu to save Torah. If Dovla because right beforehand, and they glued on puzzle, Mishum Tassalom and also. He didn't make it, it became made on his own. So we keep eager. For we already wrote that the one has to be concerned that the rip does not enter the letter. Relations shouldn't change the shape of the letter. The Chagam, the sheet puzzle in that case, it's only puzzle. The Lamani Dibuk was there, and gluing was not going to be effective. That Ka move on, as is obvious.